And boom.
Boom!
Happy Sunday to you, my brother.
Happy Sunday, brother. What's going on?
Hey, it's a great day here. I'm loving every minute of it.
Absolutely, me too. I'm just gonna post this real quick because I know we have tons of people who are online right
Yeah,
now and just can't wait
yes,
for
I'm doing the
us.
same thing. Join us live now. I tell you what, yesterday's call with Charles really put me up to a
Happy
new
Sunday,
level. That
brother.
guy
What's
is
going
truly genius as to his approach in life and
on?
just
Okay.
his approach with the business too. Really
Wow.
enjoyed talking to him
Online
yesterday.
right
Yeah,
now. Wow, that's awesome, man. I Charles is a great guy, man. And I saw his post this morning. Um, he said this we are just amazing guys, and it's awesome to kind of have somebody like Charles,
hmm
in our circle because he's a great guy, and Peggy and Kelly and all these people that are incredible people, man, incredible people,
absolutely. We're very blessed
professionals,
to have all them with us. Yeah, you're right.
you know,
You're exactly right.
and it's really awesome
Yeah,
that we are able to actually have these people in our team. But really quick, what I'm really excited about it's the conversation we're going to be having today. You
yes.
know, the conversation we're going to be having. Oh, before we jump on the conversation, guess what?
But
So my leadership team last night, I spoke to them and they all got up and sang a birthday song for my daughter. So we all sang a 30-second birthday song, and I sent the video over to her. I did a FaceTime with her this morning. It was awesome, and that was really. I know you and Charles also gave a shout out at the end of
yes,
the
he
call last
did.
night, yesterday, and I just want to really acknowledge you guys and thank you guys so much. That really means a lot.
I tell you
It
what,
really means a lot
the
to our
picture you
family.
posted of you and her, she is just adorable and beautiful, and I can see so much pride in you, and I can see where she gets her personality and good look from too.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you guys so
Shout
much.
out to Susan Maurice for joining us. Welcome,
Oh,
Susan.
awesome. But I'm excited. I'm even more excited about what we're going to be talking about today because it boils down to what we really do and the work we really do.
Yes,
And most times it boils down to how are we approaching people from different categories.
right.
We have different professionals that we approach, and we have people. And I mean, the whole point about approachment is that it's not like we just enrolling people to see the possibilities for themselves.
Right,
That's literally what we're doing.
right,
It's not about us at all. It's not
right,
about what we want to get from them enrolling into business.
right.
Because if they're just like you and I have spoken about the story of Miss Elaine Smith over and over, and she is actually more successful than her enroller.
Right. Yeah,
And it boils down to how committed somebody is, and that's the possibilities that we're actually creating in the lives of other people.
absolutely. And talk about commitment. Guess who just joined us? Miss
Charles.
Jackie Pippins.
Oh man, awesome, Miss Pippins. Oh my goodness, thank you
Talk
so much
about
for jumping.
someone who, I mean, she's the perfect example of what we're talking about today because
Yes.
she's seen it all. And her daughter, who is incredibly successful and so articulate, speaks a whole different language because
Right.
of the age variances there. And we talk
Right.
about that. And
Right.
so there's an example of two people who cover the entire spectrum of
Right.
how you can relate and talk to people.
Absolutely, man. We're really looking at the different categories of people that we deal with in our lives.
Right.
You have professionals, high top level executive professionals who you think might might not be, might dismiss this idea totally.
Right.
We have Peggy, she's a top level executive over there, and we have Miss Therese Thompson, and she's also an amazing lady. And
Right.
these are like executive directors or directors in the organizations, in their own areas of life. But they saw an opportunity
Mhm.
in this thing. And it's not an opportunity for whoever showed it to them, but it's an opportunity for them you know.
Exactly.
And it boils down to
Exactly.
how, I mean, we have millennials now in our midst. We have people that we communicate to with every day, you know. But
Right.
we really want to look. Not every not every person has the same message or the same
Right.
is going through the same problem,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. You know, and I think, Jackie Pippins, some time ago, Miss Pippins gave, I think, some of the most sage advice on this. She said, you don't lead with travel or with the Vibrite, or you
Right,
lead with the vision.
right,
The vision is what speaks to a person.
right,
And so your point is so spot on. It's how you speak to that person, but you speak to them through that vision.
right. Because you really want to speak to them from their own lens. You
Exactly.
really want to see from their own lens. You want to look at somebody
Mhm.
from the lens of their own eyes. They really want to look at what is it that's in for them. Because
Right.
we're all human beings, and everywhere you go, if you speak to somebody, they can listen to you for whatever you want to say, but
Right.
what's going on in their mind is what's in for me.
Exactly.
You know, what's
Exactly.
in for me? What's an outcome that I'm gonna get from all these things you keep talking about? Whatever, whatever, whatever. You
Right.
can sing a song as long as you like
Right.
about vibe, right? And this and save it. It doesn't mean anything if they
Right.
don't see an opportunity for them.
Hmm. Exactly. And I'll use Peggy again. And hello to Yvette and to Rhonda for also joining us.
Oh,
Peggy was a customer first,
right,
and she booked a trip for her daughter and their friends to go down to Branson, and they had a great time down there. And so
right,
Peggy started just doing her own research, and she came across videos that Holton Buggs had done, both
right,
current as well as previous, and she
right,
saw the language that he was articulating, which was a vision.
right,
And then started looking at what we're doing and other things that are happening. And it spoke to her on that real, I use the term real secular level, because it spoke to
right,
the spirit and the soul of who
right,
he is.
right,
Those are the people that are the most successful. Steve Jobs didn't say, I think I'm going to create this touchpad thing. And before I do that, I'll create some music things. No,
right,
we'll just do something for the fun of it. No, he had
right,
a vision,
right,
and his vision modified as he continued to work through it.
right,
I know when I was consulting with Apple, iPods weren't even on the radar as far as I knew.
right.
We were just happy to have the little Apple PCS. But
Right,
the thing was, it was his vision of that what if. And you and I spoke earlier, there's a lot of skepticism when you talk
right,
to someone on the level. And,
right,
I'm speaking from my generation. I think
right,
people who have a history of life are
right.
more skeptical.
Absolutely, because they have a lot of experience, and they're listening. They're listening to you is totally different. They're listening from the past. They're listening from what they already know about things like this.
Right.
They're listening from what they already know. Why somebody must have probably told them about something similar to
Mhm.
what we want to tell them.
Right.
So their listening is totally different.
Mhm.
And from that perspective, you want to approach somebody like that from what you know that they're already listening. But how do you know what they're already listening? You ask questions,
Exactly.
because we are like consultants.
Right.
It's just like I was listening to one of the tape the other day, and it said one of the top salespeople are
Mhm.
doctors and lawyers. Because
Wow.
a doctor will walk into the examination room, they
Mhm.
ask you questions all the time. They just keep asking you questions to go
That's true.
deep into the problem.
That's true.
What's the pain? You say it was here. How long? You say it's been 2 days. Or do you feel pain here today? You say, yeah, okay. What did you take?
Mhm.
They ask you all these questions because they want to be able to get down into the problem.
Right. Right.
Because now we as patients, you're there, you're excited. This person is really interested in you. They really want to know so much about you, and
Right.
that's why they're asking you all these questions. So we as ambassadors, we are the consultants. We are there to,
Mhm.
help people to decide, help people go down and dig deep into their problem. Everybody has a problem. You just
Right.
have to know how to get to the problem.
Right.
You
And
know.
boy, you hit on something so powerful there about asking questions and getting to know the person. And one of the things that Mr. Buggs teaches, and so does Mr. Haynes and the people that are part of that group, is to start out with a question.
Right.
And that question is knowing what you know today about companies like Uber, Amazon, Apple. If you had the opportunity to be back when they first started,
Right.
would you take part in that opportunity?
Totally. I mean, that's right there is a great opening question.
Right.
That's a great opening question right there, because guess what? It hits on somebody's mind about an opportunity of success.
Exactly.
Because it hits, they're already thinking about the success at Apple and Amazon and Uber and what all these other tech companies. They really look at, oh my God, Uber, like the success that they have right now. If I actually had a shot,
Right.
I would have jumped on it. But now they can actually see, because now you just give them a very broad vision of what is it that this company will be in the future and how they can be part of that future.
Exactly. And if their comeback is, nah, I don't like any of those companies, I wouldn't be interested, conversation over.
It's done. Because this is the thing. Now you don't want to sell. You don't want to sell this person, because one of the things that we always do is oversell. We're trying to oversell, which means we go over. You're selling something to somebody, and you really want to start explaining everything without using the tools. Just like Mr. Bart was saying, we have the iDecide. The iDecide is a phenomenal tool that actually goes deep to, because an iDecide is something that, first of all, the person already has a kind of pre-information, just like you said, a question. And once this person said yes, then we're saying, okay, good. We have a tech company it has the same vision, just like this other company, like Uber and Apple and Amazon. It has one of the widest visions ever. And I'm just going to send you a few, a short presentation that gives you kind of an understanding of what they're doing.
Right.
So you can take a look at it,
Yeah.
Then you're able to, once the person says yes, but you want to find out when are you going to be able to save 15 minutes of your time to check it out.
Exactly.
They say, hey, I'm maybe right now or whatever. Okay. So I'm going to send a video. I'm going to send a presentation, interactive presentation. You want to make sure you're, in a steady position. You take your time to actually watch your presentation. When can I follow up? So you want to ask all these questions, because these are questions. And as you're asking these questions, your responses, putting the responses somewhere. What I really like to do is to record the responses. Maybe I'm going to take a screenshot of the text message exchange that I have with the person. And I'm going to keep that, because sometimes, what if this person watch the iDecide and they say, I'm not interested.
Yep.
Now, when somebody said no, they're not interested, right? We're really looking at, we already know that it's a time factor. Right. It's not the right time. It's not. Then I also learned something. I just said, when somebody said no, guess what? The game is on, because no is on, right?
Exactly right.
So the game is on for you to just say, you know what? I'm either gonna keep moving or stay here and keep trying to convince this same person over and over and wasting your time.
Right.
Keep wasting your time without any results.
Right.
So you're just gonna go to the next opportunity by going to the next person to help somebody. But that same person that you already had in your list, remember, when they said no, it was just about timing.
Exactly.
And you had their responses that they had said yes, they would take a shot at this company. They would take a shot if they had an opportunity of actually investing or being part of Uber and Amazon, Facebook, whatever it is.
Right.
Now you want to follow up. Maybe a month or 2 months later, hey, I'm just checking in, know what's going on. Then maybe something else might have opened for them.
Exactly. I know when I was up in New York, there was a person that I really thought he was very interested. I really thought that he would take the bite and do it, and the event didn't show up, and I followed up with him, and I just let it simmer, because I knew where his interest level was. Exactly what you said. You don't oversell. You just give it time. Reached out last week. He said, "Hey Bart," he said, "I'm getting ready to book the flight home for Christmas for me and my daughter. What kind of deals do you have on flights?" And I said, "Well, flights are weird. They don't pay commission. They don't discount, but occasionally you do find one." I said, "In fact, myself, I found a flight on our platform, $54 cheaper than what was on Southwest Airlines." I said, "Those things do happen." He said, "Okay, great." And I said, "Just go out to your iGo and let me know what happens." Well, I haven't heard anything else from him for a while, and I thought, you know what? That's okay. No. he's going home for Christmas. That's only 6 weeks away. So there's my segue into, hey, how was Christmas? How was your flight?
Right.
To
Absolutely.
maybe bring that conversation back in.
Absolutely. Because guess what he just did? He just gave him an opportunity to save money.
Yeah.
And he might not save on the flight. Who knows? He might save $1 or $2. He might not even save anything.
Right.
But you have the relationship, and the fact that the point is he is using the I decide, and
Right.
him using the I decide right there actually shows what it
Right.
just shows that his information is in the system. He's already in the system, and as soon as the prep goes live, prep is going to be taking care of him.
Absolutely. You know, you were talking about earlier about doctors and lawyers, the best salesmen, because they ask questions. I remember Mr. Sam Bean was here and did a workshop with us.
Right.
Really have the highest respect for Mr. Sam Bean. He said he was in an attorney friend's office, and the friend was saying that they were booking a trip for all the partners.
Right.
And Mr. Bean pulls up the iGo platform and shows it to him, where are you going and what are the dates on it, and showed him what he could save on our iGo platform. Right. And then Mr. Bean said, now I want you to realize that this is the savings I get. Your savings will be half of that. So it was still well over $1,000 everyone was going to save. And the partner then asked the question, he said, well, wait a minute, how do I get your savings?
Right.
So it's all about knowing how to speak to someone and where to go with it. You know, people like Jayla Pippins and the audience that she relates to so beautifully, they see it from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
Because you know, we grew up with cable TV and all this stuff. They didn't. They couldn't care less about that. They have a whole different modality of thinking and a way to look for opportunity. And they also know that things move so fast. If you don't take at least a look at it, it may not come back to you.
Absolutely. You know, you're talking about age and a different time of growing up. I'm just thinking about this lady that showed up at one of our events about 2 weeks ago. So she showed up and said, I was growing up in the 70s, and you know, we didn't have cell phones, and I was actually doing a presentation with millennials, and I said to them, hey, we actually, you know, we didn't have cell phones, and when somebody calls your landline and you're not home, you couldn't even leave a voice message.
Right.
So then somebody, a kid, stood up and said, "Hey, really? No cell phones? Oh my God!" Then she said, "Yeah, no cell." She said, "But if you call somebody and you know you didn't get them, so what next?"
Right.
You said, "Okay, you just meet them on the street and say, I called you yesterday." Then she goes and say, "Yeah, I wasn't home." So the conversation continues. But you know, in our age right now, there's so many things going on, and just like you said, the different population that we associate ourselves with. Maybe, you know, I have access to entrepreneurs, I have access to people of different cultures and different backgrounds, and you know, and the way I approach them is totally different, because I'm approaching entrepreneurs from a different lens. I'm also approaching millennials from a different lens. I'm approaching employees from a different lens, because you really want to show that you want to make sure they see an opportunity for them participating or being enrolled into this program, you know. So it's what they're gonna get.
Exactly.
It's what they're gonna get. And you really spoke about something what I really want us to jump on, about what you know, and your buddy Tyler over here in New York. I really like the way you handle that situation, because you know what, at some point you have a very close friend that you know for sure they're definitely gonna do this. You know, like you can swear on your life they're definitely gonna do this. You know, but at some point, and they said no. Then you want to look at, are you attached to the result, or are you committed to the result?
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
You're looking at attachment and commitment, because if you're committed to him being successful, it means that you are not putting the result as an outcome for you to be happy.
Right.
But if you're attached with him, if you show an attachment, which means you're attached to the outcome was he said no. But if you were so attached to it, it means you're gonna be really upset with him.
Right.
But and I mean, I just love the way you handled it, the way you spoke to him afterwards, and he's a customer now, and before you know it, he's gonna be one of your successful ambassadors, and he's gonna blow this thing up, you know. And I just can't wait for what he's gonna be, you know, what he's gonna become.
Right. Right. I mean, I agree because, one of the big things that I've had to learn over the years with previous things in network marketing, but also just being part of corporate America and being
Right.
part of life, you have to
Yes.
detach from
Right.
the outcome. You have to detach. And it goes back to an old saying, it's a journey, not the destination,
Absolutely.
that's important.
Yes.
It's that
Right.
process that you go through.
Right.
That's what you got to focus on.
Right.
And you leave the outcome to be a byproduct. And it's just like a sporting event.
Yes.
The game isn't over until the clock finishes ticking.
Right.
If you were behind at halftime and gave up, guess what? You're going to lose.
Right.
How many times have we seen teams come back and win after halftime because they readjusted, they reevaluated, and they moved forward with it?
Right. Totally. I mean, you just need on something. You just need on something very. I mean, today is just like we're so fired up today.
Exactly.
We're so fired up today because today we're just crossing all over the place. But you hit it on something very, very interesting about the process. The process as in comparison to the outcome. I'm currently working on a project as part of my leadership program, where and the project we all everybody on the team actually has a project, but
Right.
one of the things the leaders actually said is the outcome of the project doesn't have anything to do with you.
Right.
You don't the project. It doesn't mean you shouldn't work on the project. Work on the project like your life depends on it.
Right.
Because it really does. Because the project is how you deal with life.
Exactly.
How you handle the project is how you deal with life. It's just like how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Exactly.
Most time we think about our lives is we want to separate your work life and your business life. You want to separate your work life, your home life. You're trying to have different lives, different, in all sectors.
Right.
But why don't you just be authentic with yourself and be a person in all areas of your life? The same person.
Absolutely.
Because the way you show up for work is the same way you're going to show up at home.
That is so true. And that's a real key there. Be who you are, because that's all that really matters. If you're someone different at work than you're at home, who's the real you?
Right. Because people want to look at who they're dealing with. And it's true. Corporate America is crazy, is ruthless. People don't care about you. Nobody cares about you.
Right.
But if you are a person of integrity, if you're an authentic person, you're really standing for your word for who you are.
Right.
You don't want to. I mean, you're not faking who you are at work.
Right.
Like you're trying to show up like you're busy when your boss is around. As soon as your boss leaves, you just relax. Oh my God, thank God she's gone. Thank God he's gone.
We all know people like that.
Right. But at the end of the day, you really want to look at, am I actually doing this? Is this what I kind of do at home?
Right.
With situations that shows up? Is this how I relate to other people in my life when they show up? Right. Do I put an interest in things that are urgent? Or do I show interest in things that are being supervised?
Right.
Or because if you're the head of the family, you're head at home, nobody supervises you. Like you're the lead, right? And at some point you feel like I'm just gonna take things lightly. I won't do whatever I'm supposed to do because I'm the boss. And that's how people go about life, dealing with it. And if they hit a roadblock, guess what? They quit.
That's right. You just have something that triggered. They supervise.
Right.
And that's one thing. But with that supervision means you're also accountable for the people you supervise.
Absolutely.
Whether it's your family or whether it's work or wherever it is.
Right.
I want to say a shout out to Agus. I hope I pronounced your name right. Agus. Welcome to the call. Rudy, this has been absolutely amazing. If someone wants to join us and be part of us and even join us live on the show one day, tell us how they do it.
Hey, I mean, for somebody who want to join us in the show, we've had Peggy, we've had Threes, we've had Charles, and we're going to have lots and lots of other people, and we want to be able to have it consistent. We want to be able to have Peggy coming every Monday or Charles coming every Saturday, so we interact with other people, have other people join the team, and let's keep moving. Because the whole point is we're here to motivate, to inspire, to train, to teach, to empower one another, because we can't do this on our own. And it's not about business. We can't do life on our own. It's just what it is. We need each other, regardless of whatever you're doing, whatever your interest is. We need each other. And if you're right here watching us, you really love this conversation, and you really be like, oh my God, what are these guys doing? What are they talking about? Just go on there on the in the comments. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram. Put in the comments, say, tell me more. And we're gonna provide you technology, incredible technology that you're gonna be able to watch and see what's going on. But you just want to be like, I really want to save money. What's the product that you're selling? Hey, we're not selling anything. It's free. We're gonna say, just put it out there in the comments and say me, ME, and we're gonna get back to you as soon as possible, provide you with access to this technology, and you can save for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Charles said something here, said it's your job to plant the seed, and that is what we're doing here.
Right.
And, Susan Marie says you don't want to miss a thing, and you don't. That's part of being part of life. Rudy, my brother, great having you back with me. So let's just doing this again. I love it. And until tomorrow or the next time, guys, go out and make it an amazing, amazing Sunday. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. Boom.
Boom,